soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love.
Morning, it's 7 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. Yes, it's Thursday the 23rd of December 2021. We're just 2 days away from Christmas. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve and the celebration for the weekends begin within the COVID regulations and protocols. I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Season's greetings going out to all of you this morning. Those of you viewing us right here in Tobago, in Trinidad, the Caribbean, those of you on the live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Julian, 2 days away, 2 days to go.
I know, Rhea, and the excitement and the energy is there quite naturally. Of course, we ought to remember that we're going to be doing it within the COVID protocols, within the regulations as far as possible.
And maybe you can explain for our viewers out there who want to, for those who want to rent villas and guest houses and have birthday parties and Christmas get-togethers as per normal, what that entails.
Well, I would want to suggest that you make all efforts to keep within your family bubble or that immediate family circle, as far as possible. I'm not saying that you should spend Christmas alone, but of course the Chief Secretary would have gave some indications as well, suggesting very strongly, I think in his words he said, if your house have cow each, speaking to the men that believe naturally, you have to go out and roam. Not this year at all. Folks, we want to encourage you, utilize that space that you call home. Get to know it and get to know the persons there a lot better. So try to keep that connection within your immediate bubble, family bubble that is, which quite naturally might be the persons that you communicate with automatically. You know what I mean? As opposed to going the route of that full extended family, my tanti, my auntie, my nenen that I ain't seen how many years, right. And we are accustomed to that kind of situation. So let's try to keep it as managed as possible. And even in a managed household, still you're encouraging persons, wash your hands regularly, sanitize regularly, ensure that you even practice as best as possible the measures when you are there within your household. It doesn't take away from the usual tradition, when the garbage truck and so on passing on a Christmas morning, you can still hand the men and the beverages.
That's and so on. Because I'm sure they're looking forward to it. You can
still put the cake in a foil and give it to them to go. They mightn't stop this time around, but you can give it to them to go. Definitely. And that probably has to be the way that we connect in this season, as opposed to the meeting up in a closed space, to be able to congregate in any way, form or fashion.
All right, all about keeping safe at this point in time. So Julian, what's been happening in and around?
Well, we know that yesterday we would have had an indication through the press briefing that took place post-Executive Council, an indication from the Chief Secretary attempting to bring some clarity when it comes to the COVID situation in particular, specific at the fact that we are now at a point where our morgue is full to capacity. Rhea, I have passed by Coaland. As I told you, I attended a funeral recently, and similarly, Skeet's in Buku, so I'm always on that run quite naturally. And my gosh, he's very accurate to say Buku and Coaland, particularly in terms of the place appears to be very full. And that therefore speaks to the reality of the challenges that are before us. So he would have spoken to that issue and, you know, quite naturally gone on to even speak about the situation. I think there was a critical meeting that took place yesterday, and we're looking forward, like Tobago, to hear of the outcome from that meeting with a team from the Tobago House of Assembly led by the Chief Secretary and a team from the Ministry of Finance, which I anticipate quite naturally would have been led by the Minister of Finance. But we will get the details on that. So, you know, persons are also looking forward in great anticipation. And then we also saw the situation between the AG and the case that he has brought against the Deputy Chief Secretary Watson Duke, as well as the Chief Secretary, the Tobago House of Assembly, and as the Chief Secretary has termed it, against the people of Tobago in terms of what would have been brought forward. And we're also seeing questions now being raised by you know, a number of senior lawyers in terms of the fact that Watson Duke has now resigned both from the PSA and you know, from the board that he would have sat on. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes come January.
All right, so lots of things happening in the Tobago space. We want to let our viewers know that coming up tomorrow, Friday the 24th, Christmas Eve, or as Devon Adana loves to say, Christmas Adam. I don't know which is which. I think today might have been Christmas Adam, tomorrow being Christmas Eve.
She'll bring that clarity, I'm sure, by the time she's on later.
We've got our Christmas special, our Tobago Updates Christmas special coming up tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We go for 2 hours tomorrow. So we invite the public to come on down. Now, if you're coming down, remember, you're wearing your mask. Do not remove your mask. Ensure that it covers your nostrils, your nose, that here, and your mouth. Okay? So you keep your mask on at all times, and you're going to be socially distanced, but it's going to be a lot of entertainment, a lot of giveaways. So we invite you to come on down and join us here, 3rd floor Port Mall, tomorrow morning from 7 to 9. It's going to be epic. Now, as well, we've got a couple of birthdays, in fact, a birthday today. I'm not sure how many you've got, but let me just throw in mine at this point. Samuel Orr, father of Rhea Orr, grandfather of Aliyah Holder, celebrating his birthday today, and this one has to be just a little bit more special. So happy birthday to you, Grandpa Orr, and love coming to you from the Tobago Updates team, your daughter Rhea and granddaughter Aliyah at this point. So lots of love going out to you.
Rian, I missed it a little earlier in this week, and he knows that put him on blast. Sheldon Cunningham.
We missed it?
Yes, I missed it earlier this week. Not his birthday. Anniversary celebrations. And you know, I prefer to convey this greeting, folks, by just simply reading his words posted via social media in the public space. My darling wife, Roxanne Stewart Cunningham. Today, and that would have been a few days ago, we are celebrating 18 years of marriage and 28 years together. Happy anniversary, my love. And therefore this morning, we send out here from the Tobago Updates family happy anniversary greetings to both Sheldon Cunningham and Roxanne Stewart Cunningham. We want to wish you the very best. And if I know them any at all, the celebrations didn't end on that day.
No.
They are probably still in celebratory mode.
As well as Glenroy and Aisha Bakker, who celebrated their anniversary. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday. That would have been yesterday.
So love going out to you guys as well.
Right. And we just want to touch on it this morning. Rhea, who do we have on the lineup?
Well, coming up this morning, we will be chatting with Assemblyman Dr. Faith B. Israel, the Secretary for the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. She's going to be chatting about giving us an update rather on Tobago's COVID situation. Things seem to be spiraling out of control at this point, but we're going to get an update and some more information on that later on.
Really critical for us to know what's happening. She will be followed by Assemblyman Ian Plard, Secretary for the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development, and he will be speaking to an update on the Coaland water pollution issue that we have seen come forward within within the last day or two here in the Tobago space. And who do we wrap with this morning, Rhea?
And wrapping up the program, we've got Keston Pope, the Managing Director of Savory the Isle.
Savory the Isle.
All right, and we're going to hear more about it. As long as on set, Julian, we've got things to taste and eat.
We would hate, not to bring that kind of joy to you. So not a problem at all, viewers. This is the time for you to get out your cup of tea. This is the time for you to rock back and relax. Those of you on the way to work, yep, this is the time for you to be in the car listening to us, not coming out of the house. This is the Tobago Updates Morning Show coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. We want to remind you, remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
The Grinch has gone greener. In TNT, we love to lime and laugh a lot, but our waste hurts the earth, and that has got to stop. Good thing for those going greener, stepping up to save the day. Everyday heroes in their own way. You too can show you care. Recycle aluminum, plastic, glass, and Tetra Paks with iCare. Gather up the empties. Take them to your nearest iCare spot. They're all across the country. Check iCare TT and let's clean up. Help clear our drains and landfills. Stop the flood. So simple to do good. Recycle now with iCare. Let's all do our part. Show Sweet TNT we love you with all of our heart. Visit iCare TT for more info.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Mi4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Talk, watch, and listen to win big this Christmas with a Digicel Prime Bundle. The more you watch, cheer, and dance to your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win thousands of shake-to-win prizes. Enter to win grand prizes of $100,000, home appliances, and groceries valued at $50,000 or free Digicel services for a year. Visit My Digicel or dial *323# to buy a Prime Bundle today. And talk, watch, listen to win big with Digicel. Better together this Christmas.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers. Morning. It's 7:12 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're coming to you live here from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, we are chatting with Dr. Faith B. Israel, Secretary for the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection. And of course, the issue before us in Tobago, in Trinidad and Tobago, the region and the world at large, the COVID-19 situation. And someone says in the mix of it all, particularly in our Tobago space and beyond, it's important to have faith. Speaking here in both contexts, so we don't only have faith, but we also have Dr. Faith on with us this morning. Good morning, Dr. Faith.
Good morning, guys, and thanks for having me.
So we're getting straight into it, where we're speaking to, we heard the Chief Secretary yesterday announce and confirm, in terms of having to acquire additional for storage facilities for our dead. We wanted to give us some kind of update in terms of what's the progress with regards to that.
Certainly. So, what he highlighted was a chilling reality for Tobago and for Tobagonians. If you look at the COVID data that comes out every day, you realize that the numbers of deaths, remember when we started way back when, we used to have one death maybe every couple months. Now we've gotten to the point where we have multiple deaths per day. And that means that our facility that we normally use to store bodies, to store cadavers, are really overwhelmed. So we were forced to try to find contingency measures. It really is sad. When I got the report, I was saddened. Let me also take the opportunity to again apologize to the families who were traumatized by the situation we had to treat with a couple of days ago. But it also shows that several things are coming together and they're coming ahead. One, we are having higher rates of COVID-19, and higher rates of COVID-19 infection means more people are going to get severely ill and more people are going to die. It's almost a numbers game when you think about it like that. And that is why we've really been pushing and really been trying to encourage people to do everything that you can do in your power. And we have several things that we can do in our power to try to not get sick, or even if we get sick, to ensure that we minimize the degree of illness. And I'm speaking specifically to us going into this season. Yes, my chief sec is a country boy, grew up in country, so the Coach comment is the one that I giggled at, but he is correct. We need to be extra careful this season. And by extra careful, I am not even going as far as saying stay within your families, because many of us have very extended families. We need to stay within your household, within your bubble, so the people who sleep in the same house together, they're the ones who should spend Christmas together. They're the ones who should stay together. Once you start mixing households, that is where the problem comes in. So we are asking everybody to hold your corner, hold your circle, hold your bubble. Let me also plug in really quickly to the individuals who are business owners, those with the groceries and all of the places that people are going to shop now that we just got paid yesterday or day before, most of us. You also need to be extra careful. Remember, yes, this is an opportunity for you to make money. You probably haven't been making a lot of money for quite some while. But remember to maintain within your establishment the social distancing, limiting the numbers of people who can get in at a time. Ensure that your sink is outside with water and that there's soap outside. Ensure that your workers take extra precautions because they'll be coming into contact with more people at this period. Just ensure that we do everything that we can do. And I will always say ensure that you get vaccinated, because we have absolute proof that the vaccines work and that they are needed to help us fight this disease.
And Dr. Faith, a pleasure to have you with us this morning. And what do you say to those persons out there who, in spite of all that you've said, are still saying, it's a choice. I still have a choice to be vaccinated and I choose not to be vaccinated?
It is a choice, and I still believe it's a choice. And I also am one of those people who are very much against vaccine shaming. But the reality is that our choices all have consequences. My mother taught me way back when you can choose to do whatever you need to do, but recognize that there are consequences to your choice. There are consequences to your action. And we have been seeing them. We have not actually published it, and I've asked my technical people to pull together the actual numbers as it relates to COVID-19 deaths for the last couple months, maybe from August, September, October, November, December, looking at how many of those who died are vaccinated versus unvaccinated. I have been getting the reports at least for the last 2 weeks, and believe me, since I've been getting the reports, let's just say 1 in every 20 individual who has died has been vaccinated. It means that 19 out of every 20 or so have not gotten the vaccine. And so yes, you have a choice, but your choice has consequences, and we have to be willing to live with the consequences. And unfortunately, in some situations, that means dying from the consequences. And that is why I have been pushing to really educate people. I've been pushing to really give people the accurate information so that they can make the choice that is best for them, but also is best for the entire society on a whole.
Okay.
Dr. Faith, one of the matters that arose, and I know the Chief Secretary made mention that, as the media, feel free to communicate with Dr. Faith in the context of transparency. What kind of potential costs are we incurring? Not that we have a choice, but what kind of costs are we incurring to ensure that we are able to meet the unfortunate demand that we have now in relation to the deaths?
Okay, and you would think that I would have had that exact figure. Right now, we are looking at least 100,000 to get it's a 20-foot container that is being retrofitted in essence to fit that kind of thing. So we have to put in additional shelves. We have to then make sure that the electrical part of it is working, because as you would recognize, it needs to be a cold container that has to be, that system needs to be a special kind of system. So the figure that I have gotten thus far is that it is over $100,000, but that is not the final figure. And the individual who was giving me that breakdown had highlighted that there were several additional things that needed to be included in the final cost. So when that happens, I should be able to give that figure at that point. Now, the thing though is that when we are looking at cost, we have to look at the monetary cost of it, but we also have to look at the opportunity cost. We have a situation where we are now forced to spend, probably by the time they are done adding it up, over $200,000. And this is money that we already don't have. This is money that we are already pulling from other things. This is money that we have to spend in this regard, which means we cannot spend it, for example, on getting digital devices for our children, or we cannot spend it on any of the other million projects that we wanted to do. So when we're looking at costs, we're not just looking at what it actually costs to purchase the item, but what is the opportunity cost. And when you look at the sadness of having someone in your family die, I don't know that there's anybody who could put a cost to that. I experienced a death within my family within the last couple months, and it is gut rendering. It is heart rendering. It's horrible. It's not a good feeling at all. And for families to have to experience one member and then another, and possibly another, and people are home quarantined, sick, and not feeling well. And then we recognize that because we have so many of these pulling at the healthcare system, even if you have another kind of illness, a diabetes or a cancer or something else, and you want regular care, not COVID related, we can't get you that care because the system is so overrun or overburdened by the cost of COVID. I don't know that we could put a dollar value to that, and that is why we are actually begging people. I know that those who've been speaking before have been doing it in a way that is just so wrong. That vaccine shaming thing is so wrong, but the reality still remains that as much as we hate them, as much as we hate how they've been talking to us, as much as we hate how they behave and we don't trust them, the vaccines do work, and the vaccines are saving lives. And that is what we have to recognize for ourselves. This is not about them anymore. This is not even about our own, individual human rights and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's important. But we want to be alive, and we want to have our loved ones around after to then fight for these things again.
Just got about 2 more questions here for you, but very quickly here, explain to our viewers this morning what that means. You spoke a little while ago about having one member of the family die, persons are on quarantine, but the bigger, in fact, another side of the reality is that a member of the family dies, you cannot have a celebration of life like you would want to. You've got to be in quarantine, persons are ill, the reality, a greater sense of the reality of the situation. If you
and
can
that is
explain
why
to our
we
viewers.
are. Yeah, and that is why we are where we are, because what we have is a large number of people who've died. Because of how we have to manage the infection, it means that the other members in the household, the loved ones, the closest ones, are probably also COVID positive or are on quarantine if they are not COVID positive at the point, which means they cannot then go out and do the normal, picking the casket, our rituals where we are used to bathing our dead and, watching them in the face and saying our normal goodbyes and, watching how they are made up. These are things that are part of who we are, part of our culture. And because of COVID, we can't do that anymore. We can't do that. And I am actually afraid of the longer consequences, the social consequences, the emotional, the psychological consequences that we would have to treat with long after the fact. But because we have those restrictions, we have family members who have not been able to pick up their loved one from the morgue and have the funeral, which is what is causing the pile up, for whatever better word. And I say pile up, and I even hate having to use that word because it conjures up an image. but the fact is that is the reality of what the image is like, and we are so used to treating our dead with way more respect than that. But the system is so stretched that we had no choice but to do it that way, which is why we've reached out and started putting those contingency measures in place. But I'm asking families as well. I know we are used to having the kind of funerals, and we all want to go to the funeral and that kind of thing. But if you can get an extended family member to please reach out, to please come and get the body, to please get the funeral service on the way, that would actually help us a lot to reduce the numbers that we have to store as we go into this situation.
Dr. Faith, just give us a little clarity. It would appear that when we now went into this COVID-19 situation, persons who died of COVID-19 were buried perhaps within 24 hours or so. There seems to be a change now where they've been allowed a bit of a longer time. You could just give us some clarity on what the distinction is and whether or not we should really try to be holding fast to that 24 to 48 hours, as challenging as it might be.
Yeah, and that is one of our, I think, again, it goes back to us being a kind and loving people. When we saw that, when we were doing that at first, it seemed so brutal. It seemed so cold, really. And I think what they started doing is allowing people, okay, well, we could give you the time. We would give you the little bit of time. But that has now gotten out of hand. So I think you are right. We may need to go back to that very strict policy that we had initially. I know it is hard, and that is why I am also reaching out. I would also possibly have to take it a step further and even start calling the individual families myself to get them to get to the point of doing what we need to do. So yes, we may have to go back to that policy. It is a tough one, but it is one that we may have to go back to.
All right. And Dr. Faith, when you were here with us the last time, you had made mention of the reality when you got into office. Have we been able to make any adjustments yet to create what is that greater separation with the parallel healthcare system? Any progress?
We are getting there. I've been having conversations with PAHO, for example, to give us additional help. We are going to we're going to continue working with the Ministry of Health to get the additional help. I can announce now, for example, because I told the CMOH yesterday that I've gotten approval. I've given approval to have some of our enrolled nursing assistants who just graduated. They just did the exam this week, to have them work with her department so that we can get the contact tracing and that kind of thing. When you call the number and somebody says somebody would call you back, and it now takes a couple of days before the person calls you back. Getting more people to call you back is what we are starting to do from next week as well. So it is a journey. There are several steps that we need to take to ensure that it is done correctly. But we are going to start seeing a difference soon, because we are putting all of the different pieces in place. It's just taking a little bit of time. And I guess I can't be too hard on myself, because I've only been here for 2 weeks now. But it's taking a little bit of time, and we need to do the steps correctly.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Faith, for chatting with us this morning on the program.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. And there we have it, viewers, an update on the Tobago's COVID situation.
And Ria, in all honesty, it's a very grim kind of situation.
I'm wondering how do you, and I know this is our role and responsibility as hosts on the program, but how do you jump up after that? How do you pick yourself up after that?
It speaks so much to the importance of us doing our part, as challenging as it may be. We've got to really do our part until things are under control here within the Tobago space, Trinidad and Tobago, the world and the region at large. Because the reality is, the alternative, quite simply, is death.
That's right.
Yeah, it's either we're going to be alive, or we are going to die or experience challenges with loved ones around us, dying. So we really want to remind persons, please, folks, let's all make that extra effort to uphold our responsibilities as far as possible. Yes, I know we are human, and there are times, we will fall short, and that's where we look forward to friends and family helping and reminding us, hey, Remember to pull up that mask. Don't forget to sanitize. We've got to work together here to make it happen and to really make that difference. Because you know what, Ria, we really do have faith, and we are looking forward to better days for Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, and the world at large.
That's
Most
right.
Definitely. Folks, and we're making a switch now from that interview to speak to some good stuff, some good news we want to share with you in this segment here this morning, the good stuff, courtesy Tobago Updates morning show. Jaleese Alexander of Milford Court received a full scholarship to Essex County College, Newark, New Jersey. The former Signal Hills Secondary School student is expected to leave our shores before the year is out. The talented teenager will have the opportunity to do football, high jump, and track at the college. Her mother, Shiva Alexander, and Jules SC are no doubt proud of this milestone. And this morning we want to say good morning and congratulations to Jaleese Alexander, and particularly I want to take the time out to say congratulations to Shiva. I know that you're extremely proud in terms of being able for your daughter to reach this milestone. Folks, if you know someone or anything you'd like to feature on the good stuff, we want to remind you, feel free to connect with us via info@tobagoupdates.com. That's info@tobagoupdates.com, or you can contact us via phone at 284-6597. That's 284-6597. At this point, viewers, we want to thank you. We continue to see the love and support coming out. Elizabeth Cooper, good morning to you. Cindy Roberts, Eric Powder, Bianca Williams, Edison, hey, Edison Woom out there, out in Grenada. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining in on the live. Sherwin Folinier, Nikiba Fonelier, hi, good morning to you. Folks, we want to encourage you. Remember to continue to share the live, share the live, share the live.
To all Tobagonians and visitors of this beautiful island, the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is seeking your efforts and support in keeping a clean and organized, friendly environment. In doing so, drop-off bins are located at strategic areas around Tobago for your recyclable materials such as plastics, aluminum and steel cans, glass bottles and tetra packs in bags, and let's protect our environment. Our own Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is here to propel that change. Look for the white bin nearest to your area.
The Grinch has gone greener. In TNT, we love to lime and laugh a lot, but our waste hurts the earth, and that has got to stop. Good thing for those going greener, stepping up to save the day. Everyday heroes in their own way. You too can show you care. Recycle aluminum, plastic, glass, and Tetra Paks with iCare. Gather up the empties. Take them to your nearest iCare spot. They're all across the country. Check iCare TT and let's clean up. Help clear our drains and landfills. Stop the flood. So simple to do good. Recycle now with iCare. Let's all do our part. Show Sweet TNT we love you with all of our heart. Visit iCare TT for more info.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, today I could have been lying in this casket dead. I have lost so many friends. It is unbelievable. They stood right in front of me saying, Ian, I am not going to take that vaccine. You shouldn't take it. But today, they all passed away. They all died and gone. You want to be there for your family? Take the vaccine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ian Allen. It's not a ledge, it's a fact. I am alive. Please, don't hesitate. Vaccinate. That could have been me going there, but I'm alive. As you can see.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
The Grinch.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Morning. Yes, viewers, there's always energy here live in studio and on set. This is the Tobago Updates morning show. It's 7:33 a.m. this morning. And I want to do a quick shout out this morning. Ria, I think you are familiar with her as well. To Janine Stewart LeBron, good morning to you. And I just want to say thank you so much. You know what I'm thanking you for? The love and the support going beyond that extra mile. Ria, I'm going to get an extra taste of some excellent, well-baked, cake from courtesy Janine. I want to say thank you so much.
Now, I'm just putting it out here. If Julian is getting, I hope that I'm getting as well. I'm piggybacking on Julian this morning. All right?
It's the way I put my good friend Nadine under pressure. Say, Nadine, even if I can't reach Janine, make sure you collect it for me. I come in and check you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much there. I want to give you a shout out. We know you're tuned in this morning, enjoying the Tobago Updates morning show. Ria, what are we going to next?
We are going over to some an interesting interview. But just before we get to that, we need to remind our viewers of what's coming up tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
As well as, in fact, later on today. I think you have some. I'll give them tomorrow, and you give them what's happening later on.
Not a problem
today.
at all. So what do we have happening later on today? Is it with the Assistant Commissioner of Police?
Yes.
Yes. So the Assistant Commissioner of Police, William Nurse. You see, folks, I have to make sure I don't give out other information on set, The Assistant Commissioner of Police, William Nurse, and Senior Superintendent Junior Benjamin and other executives of Tobago and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service would be inviting members of the media, to come participate in its divisional awards function. Which will be held at 11 a.m. today at the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy, the Penthouse at Victor E. Bruce Building, situated on Post Office Street, Scarborough. So they are certainly taking that opportunity now to have their divisional awards function, and that takes place today. We want to say commendations to the TTPS. The TTPS Tobago, and we want you to know as well, no folks, I haven't given you all that information for you to rush to the building. Nope. In keeping with the COVID protocols, I've given you all that information to indicate to you that Tobago Updates will be carrying it live from 11 a.m. So feel free to tune in from 11 a.m. in order to get all the highlights happening today at the Divisional Awards function.
As well, tomorrow we have our Christmas special on our Tobago Updates Christmas special from 7 in the morning till 9 a.m. So you don't want to miss it. And we want to invite persons to come on down. Remember to wear your mask. Ensure that your mask is worn properly, that your nose and mouth are fully covered. Okay, not the one, some people wear, no, not that. Okay, so we invite you to come on down. We have a lot of entertainment, lots of giveaways right here at the 3rd floor Port Mall. So we invite you to come on down tomorrow. We'd love to see you. Julian and I would love to connect with you guys tomorrow. So join us tomorrow morning.
All right. And we're just saying as well, good morning. Shout out to Anne Murray, Brathwaite. See you tuned in here with us this morning. And we also have Paula James Roberts coming from Antigua and Barbuda. Good morning. Thank you for joining in. Because, folks, as you are aware, Tobago Updates, our coverage goes Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago and the region. So we're happy to have you all connecting with us on the live this morning. And Ria, we're not forgetting those who are viewing at home via Gael TV, good morning to you as well, and MNE TV, good morning, and we're happy to have you in the house. Ria, in this segment, we are chatting with Assemblyman Ian Pollard, Secretary for the Division of Settlement, Public Utilities and Rural Development. And some say, due to the challenges of COVID, I ain't seeing Ian Pollard at all. Well, you've seen him here this morning on Tobago Updates. Good morning, as they say, I ain't seeing YT. Pressure. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Julian. Good morning, Ria.
Good morning to you, sir.
Before we even get into the formal responsibilities, how are you doing, sir?
I am fine. I'm fine. I'm really doing fine now.
All right. So, Ria, he's on that road to recovery, and we will see you hitting the road very soon again.
That's right.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
All right. So we are getting into things. Assemblyman, quite recently we saw videos being circulated via social media of the Coaland, what was said to have been the Coaland water, the Coaland River, and some indication of shellfish in the river that appeared dead. indicating here that there is some type of pollution in the river. Can you give us an idea? Is there any update? Is this as legit as it came across social media? Give us an idea of what's happening there.
Well, Ria, and to the wider listening of public, I received that call about after 6 that morning, because it's not really the Coaland River. It's where the bottom river, Easterfield Road river, the Coaland River starts all along there. And I grew up in that area. I grew up, at least my address is Contentious, bungling with Bottom River Road. So I got a call from one of my constituents stating that her husband traversed the river course and found that all the crayfish and all the life forms were dead. And, you know, he said he followed it all up to where the Prime Minister sheep farm is. So then I sent out some of my the guys who canvassed with me to get some videos, because the guy didn't take a video. So they went and they did the video. And even past the Prime Minister's sheep farm, they were dead crayfish and crab and fish in the water. So I alerted my colleague, Miss Natisha Pantin, who's in charge of fisheries and natural resources. And then I also alerted Mr. Brian Williams of WASA, asking him if he could shut off the water system because of what findings going on. Mr. Williams did accede to turn off the water because we were fearful of if it was anything contaminant in the water. So they did go out and do their testing. Mr. Williams, WASA gave me an update this morning that they didn't find anything pollutant in the water, but they installed some carbon filters, was installed into the treatment process to absorb any toxin. I'm still awaiting a report from Natural Resources and the Fisheries Division, but we're getting a double messaging that someone threw something in the water to catch crayfish and cause that kill. And then I'm hearing this morning that probably it was somebody washing out some tank that had some chemicals. So by the end of the day, I expect to get a full report on what really the findings were. But from WASA's check, their testing, they found nothing pollutant in the water, so they turned back on the water supply.
Right. So it's safe to say that at the moment, folks within that area have nothing to worry about.
Yes, it's safe to say based on the report I received from WASA this morning.
So what kind of advice would you want to give, quite naturally, given this circumstance, to persons who tend to use streams and rivers, you know, not always for such good things? You know, when you want to wash out, rinse out, throw out, and you tell yourself it will just go away, and sometimes it affects the stream more than we would anticipate, sometimes blocking, sometimes diverting. What would you generally want to, you know, guide our residents with, especially at this time of year?
Well, I would really like to guide them to that. They have to be very mindful of what they do or whatever they undertake, because they can have effect not only just to the area, but to the entire island. Because if that was something polluted, you see the amount of persons that would have been affected. The whole of Southwest Tobago would have been affected. Persons would have been, I mean, our medical situation is already, I mean, it's in a dire state. And if it was something polluted, imagine what would have happened to our health system in Tobago. So I'm asking persons to be more responsible, be more cautious when they're doing. And that's the water course. It traverses throughout the whole north and southwestern end and western side of Tobago. So you have to be more responsible. And whenever we get to the finding, we'll probably have to do some education and to the persons that this kind of behavior is not acceptable and should not be condoned or should not be done any time in the future.
Let me ask you here, Assemblyman Pollard, what are the communities that are serviced by the Coaland River?
Well, Ria, it's so much, because I saw when WASA put out the statement, I mean, it's Arnersville, it's Plymouth, it's Blackrock, it's Caden, it's Crown Point. It's all those islands, Plymouth, it's all those villages on the southwestern end of the island, because they are serviced from the Coaland water treatment plant. Mason Hall probably is getting service from the Highland waterfall, so that was upstream. But everything south and southwest of Mason Hall will be affected.
At this point, in the interim, should persons just stay away from the mainstream? Should they only utilize their tank-borne water? What should they do?
Well, I should say they should stay away from mainstream, because I said I'm still waiting on a report from from EMA on the fisheries and natural resources. But from WASA, I spoke to Mr. Williams about half an hour ago, and he said the treatment, the water quality was good, so that's why they opened back the system to supply the southwestern end of the island. But just for caution's sake, because if what I'm hearing about the washing out of the chemicals this morning, let us just not just throw caution to the wind, but be very, very careful. Give it another 24 hours and see.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Assemblyman Ian Pollard, we also want to get a feel from you. I know thus far the greater part of your term in office has been probably communicating and contacting with your team, utilizing the technology, because I know you're not a man that just sitting down home and saying, well, when I come out, I'm going to start to do my part. Tell us how that kind of, that has been in terms of beginning to make some headway with regards to taking up that responsibility for the division which you now lead.
Well, I have a quite capable assistant, Mr. Niall George. He's doing a fantastic job. He has me updated. So I'm being updated every day by Mr. George, and the team is doing a pretty good job based on the reports I am receiving. But I can't wait to get out there to actually to start to deliver, serve the people. I can't wait. Can't wait for the start of the new year. Whenever they said public service will be back on the 3rd, I can't wait, because there are lots of lands, there's lots of houses out there that my people deserve and will be. Projects will be undertaken once we have the finances at a rapid pace, so that my people, our people, could get the benefit of these service lots or these houses, whatever is there. And people could really look forward to service. I mean, I had a guy come from Roxbury yesterday complaining that, for these grants, and the gentleman is a gentleman who suffered major burns on his body probably around 10 to 12 years ago, and having problem accessing a repair grant, because I remember when I was the advisor to the minister, we constructed a home for him in Roxborough, and he came to my house yesterday and complained about these grants they have been applying for 2 years now and can't access. But I could assure Tobagonians that once the full team is on board, that we're going to see some improvement in these areas.
All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for chatting with us this morning, Assemblyman Ian Whitey Pollard. We've got to keep putting in that Whitey. He will forever be Whitey Pollard. All right, so thank you so much for chatting with us today. And we encouraged, we wish you a speedy recovery, a full health, 100% recovery.
All right.
Thank you
and
very
we
much.
look forward to, by the time you're actually able to hit the ground physically, that you'll probably pop in studio here with us to give us an update as to how things are going, given the work being conducted thus far by your assistant secretary, and then when you are also able to join in fully. So all the best again.
Thank you very much, Julian.
And Ria, we ought to let Mr. Pollard know, Assemblyman. I think it's a good way to cap with him and express our appreciation. Lisa Williams-Phillips, good morning, Ria and Julian. Tell my batch, Mr. Pollard, good morning for me, please. So you're seeing the love and support coming out on the live as well for Assemblyman Ian Pollard. And of course, the expectations are high quite naturally, because he spoke to a number of areas that persons are actually looking forward to within the context of the division's areas of responsibility.
All right, now one of our viewers online is asking, is it Whitey or is it Wasi? I am not sure, but we had him on the line. We should have seen this while he was on set. We could have asked him. But a special good morning going out to Kimmery Richardson, Tanessa Lawrence, Helena Isaac, good morning to you. We see Anne-Marie Braffett viewing as well. Russell Morrison, thank you so much.
And it's important to note, Russell Morrison is coming in from Staten Island in New York City. Good morning to you, Russell Morrison, joining us. So we're connecting this morning, Grenada, Antigua, New York City, Staten Island. Ria, we're so happy to have all of you connecting, because you know what, this is what Tobago Updates morning show is about, bringing you the content, bringing you the information, and keeping you up to date with everything happening here within our Tobago space. Folks, at this point, we want to continue to encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
The Grinch has gone greener. In TNT, we love to lime and laugh a lot, but our waste hurts the earth, and that has got to stop. Good thing for those going greener, stepping up to save the day. Everyday heroes in their own way. You too can show you care. Recycle aluminum, plastic, glass, and Tetra Paks with iCare. Gather up the empties. Take them to your nearest iCare spot. They're all across the country. Check iCare TT and let's clean up. Help clear our drains and landfills. Stop the flood. So simple to do good. Recycle now with iCare. Let's all do our part. Show Sweet TNT we love you with all of our heart. Visit iCare TT for more info.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Mi4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Talk, watch, and listen to win big this Christmas with a Digicel Prime Bundle. The more you watch, hear, and dance to your favorite Digicel apps, the more chances you have to win thousands of shake-to-win prizes. Enter to win grand prizes of $100,000, home appliances, and groceries valued at $50,000 or free Digicel services for a year. Visit My Digicel or dial *323# to buy a Prime Bundle today. And talk, watch, listen to win big with Digicel. Better together this Christmas.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Morning. It's 7:50 a.m. Welcome back, and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. In this segment, this is This Day in Tobago History with Devon Adana.
This day in Tobago history, did you know that on December 23rd, 1976, the most senior official under the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Local Government tried to ease the inconvenience to Tobagonians after the removal of the Ministry of Tobago Affairs? According to the book Identity and Secession in the Caribbean by Larry Luke, 45 years ago today, Mr. Alfred Gayet was tasked with making recommendations to the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Local Government, Mr. Joseph Herrera. These recommendations were concerning new administrative machinery for Tobago, given that the Ministry of Tobago Affairs had been disbanded after the September 1976 election. In that election, PNM lost both of the Tobago seats to the DAC, which was led by A&R Robinson. By the time Permanent Secretary Herrera visited Tobago in December, it was clear that the return of government departments in Tobago back into the control of their respective ministries in Trinidad led to great administrative chaos and difficulty to Tobagonians. As a prelude to his proposals, Gayet noted that no financial provisions had been made for the Ministry of Tobago Affairs in the draft budgetary estimates of expenditure for 1977. Further, he pointed out that the ministry itself had to be divided, with the parent ministries based in Trinidad being responsible for the operation of the relevant divisions formerly under the Permanent Secretary of Tobago Affairs with effect from 21st January 1977. Mr. Gayet's recommendations called for the General Administration Unit of the Ministry of Local Government in Tobago to continue functioning in order to lessen the transition problems. In addition, he proposed that the unit should be given the authority to deal with leave, discipline, and other functions of the Director of Personnel Administration on behalf of all ministries with sections in Tobago. You've been watching This Day in Tobago History. My name is Devon Adana. Back to you in studio.
Good morning, Devon Adana.
Good morning. Thank you, Devon Adana.
Good morning.
Devon, is it safe to say that's where we started to make some headway for considerations for Tobago affairs within the government operations, or it didn't necessarily make as much progress then?
Well, I'm more headway probably in terms of the Tobago House of Assembly, and we saw ANR really agitating for us to have the Tobago House of Assembly and be able to, really have some more self-governance and bring a lot of those things back in, that they would sit in Tobago and be able to handle them in Tobago. But I guess, we had the entire ministry and then, it was taken away, and so it caused a lot of chaos. I think it was just indicative of having many of these offices sit in Trinidad and having to, because people weren't getting paid after they dismantled it. People weren't getting paid for weeks. Government workers, were having a really difficult time of things running smoothly on the island.
Troubling time. And I always like to make that connect with our modern day, where we are now putting forward that fight as Tobago in terms of advancing ourselves for a greater level of autonomy, and whatever form we may refer to it as, it speaks to wanting to take on a greater level of responsibility as Tobago for matters within Tobago.
That's right, exactly.
Definitely.
Let me just take this time to wish the viewers a happy Christmas, Adam. Yesterday, I made a mistake in wishing viewers early. Maybe it's my exuberance to be done with
I suppose yesterday was Christmas, Adam Jr. You were speaking to the child.
That is it. It may have been Christmas, Cain and Abel. That is what.
Yes. Thank you, there, Devon Adana.
No problem.
And we look forward to chatting tomorrow on Christmas Eve.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure chatting with Devon Adana. I just love the way you say that name. Just allow me, Julian, before we encourage our viewers to share the live, I want to send a shout out this morning to Lisa Gomez, who is viewing on the live. Nadine Davidson viewing on the live. Good morning and welcome to you. Dora Lyons from out there in Queens, New York. Good morning and welcome.
I think we have somebody from Brooklyn as well.
Yeah, we got Brooklyn on the live. Yes. In fact, yeah, Brooklyn love. Somebody sending Brooklyn, New York. Okay, and that is Julia Brown, who is viewing from way over there. You had some Staten Island friends a little while ago.
Correct, that also joining in. So we're very happy to have that. And folks, we want to tell you that on Tobago Updates Morning Show, we respond to your call. Yesterday, Rhea, I was at the grocery and I got the opportunity. I met one of my mother's very good friends. So let me shout out this morning to Listra Cowie Scotland and Mr. Scotland as well. And they gave a very good suggestion. They said, oh my God, we enjoy the show. We follow the show on a regular basis. And they indicated, but we are sitting in front of our TV and we're saying we'd like to get in on the shout outs from time to time. And because of you, the producer this morning informed me, all of you all that tune in to us via Gaia, via M&E TV. You can connect with us via WhatsApp at 284-6597. The number is 284-6597. And I really want to thank Listra Cowie Scotland and Mr. Scotland as well for that recommendation yesterday. So we're now going to be connecting with our television viewers as well, in addition to those of you that join us online and connect with us, because this is the Tobago Updates Morning Show and we're about connecting with you and sharing Tobago content. Viewers, we want to encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
To all Tobagonians and visitors of this beautiful island, the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is seeking your efforts and support in keeping a clean and organized, friendly environment. In doing so, drop-off bins are located at strategic areas around Tobago for your recyclable materials such as plastics, aluminum and steel cans, glass bottles and tetra packs in bags, and let's protect our environment. Our own Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is here to propel that change. Look for the white bin nearest to your area.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning. Good
morning. Yes, viewers, this is the Tobago Updates morning show. We're coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. And we just want to remind you, yes, because I got messages coming in almost immediately, the contact number for you to WhatsApp us as well to join the discussion if you're not on the live is 284-6597. That's 284-6597. So feel free to also connect with us via WhatsApp, send your greetings, send all the discussions. That's for those of you not on the live with us this morning. Ria, who do we have coming up in this segment? I'm told it's an opportunity to taste something, Ria.
To taste, yes. Eat, no. Two different things. But coming up right now, we are chatting with Keston Pope, and Keston is the managing director of Savor the Isle. Did I get it correct? Yes. All right. I think that there's a way of pronouncing, you know, kind of a slight roll of the tongue. So this morning we are talking about Savor the Isle. Good morning and welcome to Keston Pope.
Hi, good morning.
Now, we've got a few products before us here, viewers, and I know you're all wondering what's happening and what is all of this about. But he'll tell us more. Keston, tell us about Savor the Isle.
So, Savor the Isle is a local manufacturing and distribution company. We specialize in punches, which we have approximately 7 to 8 flavors, and then we diversify into rum cream because we want to get away from the egg and stuff. So we started doing some rum cream. We have 3 unique flavors, which is nuts and sea moss, coffee, vanilla. Also we have the sorrel coconut. Okay. Right, so these are blends. We have them in 3 different sizes, 750 ml and 250 ml, also 300 ml. And then we into the distribution aspect.
Before you go on, you took the opportunity to note that that it did not contain egg. Why was that important?
Sometimes, based on the market research where we did, we realized that a lot of people had a problem with egg in the product or might have a better allergies in terms of egg.
Right.
And we wanted to kind of bring it close to natural and kind of formulate it so that it could be able to be tasty and without that content. So we're still capturing those persons who prefer not to have egg.
Okay.
So you said you have the option on one end, these are the rum creams.
Right.
Right, and on the other end?
We have punches.
All right, so and the punches have no alcohol at all?
No alcohol at all.
So your setup might have been strategically placed
for
tasting.
Yes, he put
the ones
with alcohol,
Ria,
Julian.
You know, and Ria would insist, Julian, you have to try those because, you know, I don't do alcohol. I said, Ria, not a problem. I will help you out there in those circumstances. But I want to know a little bit more about who is Keston Pope? Where are you from? Because, you know, we like to make that connection in our Tobago space because I'm sure your village, your community is extremely proud of what you're doing. Tell us where all this inspiration came from.
Well, it came from different places, but I am from Craigal, Moria, Tobago. A bit came from a background of grandmother used to always planting and going to the garden and have this kind of entrepreneurial spirit. And it really derived where I started doing some work, and I used to actually blend some drinks and carry to work. And you know, I saw people was gravitating to it because the flavors very different and unique. And from that aspect, I decided to go more into it after finishing studies, and this was the end results, you know. So that was part of the step. But with the support of my mom and family, you know, this make it happen. So you know, I'm really thankful for that support throughout the process.
Right. It's a good time to shout out, good morning, Mariah.
Good morning,
Doing
Craig
good
Hall.
things. Craig Hall, to be
Hall.
specific.
Right.
We're in the north side. This morning. I can see Glendora Lashley smiling up there. Sophia Cooper, yes, very proud. You know, just some of the persons up on
Yes,
that
yes,
end.
I know those names, yes.
Tell us a little bit about some of the items, and you could feel free to hold them up outside of the beverages, those that you have laid out there this morning.
So we have here, we have a Pete's Coffee, right? So this was a partnership with my colleague from Trinidad. He actually have a coffee estate. So what we did, we wanted
it around a little bit first.
So we wanted to kind of keep local indigenous stuff here and kind of create the product. So
So could you just hold it up? Yeah. So
and you go ahead, tell us about it.
Yeah, so every product that we have actually is organic, local, from the farm straight to produce, then to the end product. Right.
So that one is coffee.
This is coffee.
Right. Go ahead.
So we also have, we also distribute. This is Grenadian spice. Right. So I really have.
Eddie's still on the live. Eddie, we have some Grenadian spice here.
So this is actually still in
Let me just let you know here. My bloodline. My mother is born bred Grenadian. I am half Grenadian, half Trinbagonian. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead with our spices.
Yes. So we distribute the Ceylon cinnamon, ground cinnamon. What happened is that this cinnamon, if no one knows, is very authentic and original.
Nice.
Right? So you see it here. It also good, it helps regulate blood sugar. It's actually good for weight loss. It actually has a lot of benefits, and it is potent and essential, so that you don't really have to use much to get the benefit use of it. We also have the cinnamon back here. Right? All organic brand. We also have here bay leaf, sun-dried bay leaf, and then we have some clove here. We also have other products in it, like nutmeg powder, nutmeg whole, and so forth. So this is kind of the line we kind of pushing on the distribution aspect of it. All right.
Let's talk a little bit about the drinks on my side of the fence. Julian has gravitated clearly to the side that has the alcohol, but I'll stay safely over here so that I'll be able to walk. Tell us about the punches particularly.
Right.
Now, before you go on, you mentioned earlier that you would have made your punches and carried to work.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your colleagues might have said, boy, what's that you're drinking? Let me taste it now.
Yes.
Tell us about some of those stories and about these punches.
So basically, when I carry my drink to work, it was being drunk more than me. so basically, I kind of hear what, if you drinking out my stuff, maybe I should just produce it for you all.
Yes, and let you pay.
And let you pay, and from there it kind of went that way. But initially, when we started on the market, we started with dandurut and sea moss, and we started with peanut punch.
Right.
So the dandurut came from a kind of medicine background where grandfather used to make draw it out and use it for medicine purposes, but we wanted to kind of incorporate it in a drink. And the best thing for us was basically incorporated with sea moss after numerous try, and we came up with the dandurut and sea moss blend, which is very unique and a specialty blend. I don't think anybody else make this type of drink. And then we have our creamy peanut punch, which is a favorite by a lot. Very, very uniquely taste. Cannot copy, right? So, and then we also have Bob 1D.
Bob who? Sorry?
Bob 1D.
Okay.
So this is basically...
I noticed you're not even venting to repeat.
No, I'll stay safe, but I will ask.
So basically, we know what Babon is after this year. It helps.
It helps who?
Blood flow.
That's exactly what we're speaking about.
Yes. So
you go ahead, go strong.
So with this type of blend, it kind of helps people in other aspect of their life.
You see, Kester, don't worry about it. People know what you're talking about.
People, I realize he's stressing on people, but I have a feeling it's more for men than it is.
Men know what you're talking about there. In fact, all the men stand up in studio now looking on, paying attention.
And no pun intended. No pun intended.
Well, let's say whatever good for men, better for women.
Yeah. So the mix is important.
So the mix is
Take us
important.
over very quickly because you know we got to do some tasting.
Right. So we have on this side we have our sorrel coconut. Again, straight from the farm, produce. And this is the product here. Our blend with coconut. We have nuts and sea moss, and we also have the coffee vanilla, which is also a byproduct of this coffee.
Yes.
Right?
Thank you so much to our viewers, because just in case you all were wondering about all those jokes and many things going through your mind, Nigel Davidson saved the day on the live. It's good for the knees. Thank you very much, Nigel. So we're gonna do some. They're asking about the percentage. Is it very strong in terms of?
So right now for Christmas we have a special. It's actually 13% alcohol volume.
1-3 or 3-0?
1-3.
1-3 viewers. That's 1-3.
That's
So
right
we
over
might
my
be able to
limit.
take a taste. That's 1-3.
Right.
All right. I trust that Oswald George is on standby to pick up Rhea right downstairs.
I am at 0%. I can function at 0% alcohol. 0%.
So we have a special for the Christmas where we have the 3 bottles going for $3.30. So any person interested, they could contact us on our page. We're currently working on our e-commerce website. So just now, persons will be able to purchase the product straight from online, from the home, and get it delivered to them.
Remind them where they can make contact with you, contact number, as well as where on social media.
Yeah, you can contact us on Savor the Isle on Facebook, Savor the Isle, also on Instagram, and you could get us at 363-1948. Also, you could message us via WhatsApp on the same number of 363-1948.
All right, and I see Kieran McDougall on the live as well. You know, he can't simply say, do your best, Keston. He said, get them, Kest, get them. All right? Yeah. Certainly very proud of what you're producing here this morning. And we want to assure our viewers, we're going to do the tasting. We're going to do the tasting, most definitely.
However, we will not be tasting the one that increases blood flow on set. We will not be tasting that one.
Yeah, that may speak to better times later on this evening and into the Christmas holidays.
All right, so which one are we going to be having this morning?
Any one of your choice.
Julian,
right,
what say you, pumpkin and carrot?
I think this is the one that has the taste of alcohol. Yeah, because we want to be able to give them two perspectives. You know, I don't just want us to have the same drink. We need to be able to give. I'll try the sorrel.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, viewers, we are doing some tasting here. We're talking pumpkin and
nuts and sea moss.
Got it.
I'll go with the sorrel for Christmas flavor.
Yeah, sure.
Shake first. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Are you shaking the burgundy?
No. We're doing pumpkin. We're doing pumpkin and carrot.
And this one is the sorrel coconut cream that we're doing here this morning.
With a little hint of alcohol. Yeah. Julian is not backing down.
Yeah,
now, if you see him walking left.
Yeah, I ain't even tasted it yet.
And he's
I ain't even tasted it yet, viewers. And I start to sweat already.
It is smooth. Juliana, how many of me are you seeing at this time?
One Rhea. 2 eyes, but one Rhea. Folks, right. I like the fact, very smooth as you said, Rhea. The alcohol content isn't very strong at all. You might want to give a little vent. You're getting the sorrel taste, which is particularly important. So it's not just the color that comes with it by the time you do the blend.
Okay. It almost looks like a beetroot punch, but I guess the taste would be very different.
Yeah.
All right, but you know, Keston. I haven't had any alcohol. It is Keston, yes?
Yes, it is.
Good. Keston, thank you for being on the program with us. It was a pleasure chatting with you, and we're going to continue with the tasting even after. So, viewers, we want to thank you this morning for joining us on the Tobago Updates morning
There's
show.
a quick question before Keston runs
Go
off.
ahead.
Since the company is not using eggs, do they have a vegetarian option with no dairy?
We was working on that aspect of it. However, it's very difficult to the price point for it in terms of reaching customers is kind of difficult, and the shelf life. So we kind of still formulating and see where is the best option. If it's maybe you have to provide that as an outlet aspect of it, because to bottle it and distribute it, it have a shorter shelf life than the other products.
Right.
So it's something we're looking at doing by orders. when we get the site up, so persons who want to request it, maybe they will have the opportunity to order 2 days or 3 days before. We will be able to produce it for them. We will reach out to those type of customers. It's something we actually started 2 years ago, but we kind of executed in a trade show we was part of in Trinidad. However, as I mentioned, the shelf life aspect of it was challenging. So something that we want to venture in, but maybe when we grow in the long-term future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And viewers, I will tell you tomorrow which one of the guys in studio grabs at this bottle first. I will tell you. I promise you, I'll tell you tomorrow. Okay, so have a great day. Stay safe on the roads. I see some of them already running.
Is it Parks that just messaged me to say that you have staff one? All right, Parks, I got the WhatsApp, not a problem.
Well, have a great day.
We are not one, he wants 2.
He wants 2.
Let me just have another sip here. You carry on, Rhea, to close the show this morning. Love you, folks.
Viewers, stay safe on the roads. Remember to wear your mask, sanitize, and come on, Keston, you got to join us here this morning. Socially distance. That's right.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains. I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning.